Let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Well, hello. How's everybody doing this morning? Happy to have you all here. Nice to be with you. Got my light issue resolved yesterday, so that was nice. We just didn't get the lights on in the tanks, and I don't think it affects much at all, really. But good to be with you. We were all, some of us, I should say, were watching Joey last night on the hot seat. She did a great job as ever. Just a remarkable woman doing a remarkable job. Let me see if we can get her up here. See if she's around. There she is. Hey, Joey.
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning. I couldn't seem to get linked into the audio. I could get the
Yeah.
but then I couldn't get audio. I'm like, that's always a problem, So anyway, good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good
So,
morning. Yeah, absolutely. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I it's really strange not having some place to go and thing to do every day. I'm not
Mhm.
used to that. It's really strange. Not used to that. So now I kind of question what each day is and what I'm about and what's going on and try to set priorities. I haven't had to do that for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, at least you get this in the morning to kind of keep you straight.
Well,
Should we say some
this
hello?
gets me, yeah, it gets me up and about. Yes, let's do our hellos. Absolutely.
Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, get you moving. All right. So I see first on my screen, I see Glass Box Fox, Dennis Lord, Conceal Valley Cichlids, Jenny Lynn. Then I see Brad's Hobbies. Good morning, everyone. Um, and they were chatting away as usual, so I have to keep scrolling
I
down.
know. I
Oh,
know.
and then Kyle's Aquarimetrics. Good morning. Frugal Aquatics. Hello, TJ. Um, Bob C. Hafer is new. Good morning, Bob. Welcome. Um, Xana Doodoo, hello. Brienne, good morning. Holly Haven, good morning. Chevy Fish, hello, lady. Um, and then who do we see? Boy, a lot of talking. Um, David Mann is here with us this morning. And Stephanie Frederick, my sister Steph, the Wowfish. Hello, love you. I just can't. I struggle with that first word. David, all right, is new and welcome. And then I see. I think I said Joshua Miller, but hello. Oh, Karina Karen Naresh, hello. Misfit, good morning, Misfit. Andres, good morning. My fish tanks, hello. Monster Fish Gallery, good morning. Thanks for coming in. Jason Sear, Gene Campbell. And then TP and Fish Tanks. Hello, good morning. And then who do I see? We're all in here saying hello. No, I didn't get gnarly yet. And Florida Fish Rescue, good morning to both of you.
Terry's truck.
Yeah, sorry, guppy grass galore. You're starting from the bottom. I'm still coming from the top.
Yeah, from the bottom, yeah.
And then
James Handy.
I'm scrolling past. Yep, James Handy. Yes, Terry's Tropicals. Welcome, Terry. And James and Herb and C. And Jordan's Fish Tanks. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Glad that you can.
Andre Alvarado.
Yep, I got Andres, but it's always good to say hello again. And I think I said Greg the Guppy Guy. And trying not to miss anyone. I think I said hi to Jordan. And all right, and Tam. Hello, Tam. Good morning. And H. Moore.
Who is?
Morning. And welcome to Snook. And then I believe it's Fishroom Back.
Somebody is a new.
Yeah, she just got a new member.
Sif Moore.
Yeah. I just go HSIF Moore. I don't know. I know it's Fishroom backwards, but welcome and thank you for joining. Good morning.
Okay.
Catfish Terry. Hello, Catfish Terry. Welcome. Good morning.
Hey, Catfish. Good to see you.
Howard
Van Tassel. Hello, Howard.
Yes. And
Mr.
I think you got a serious question early on, and then someone's asking about seeing the pygmy sunfish that you collected. So that, I don't know if that's something you can do or not.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But anyway, and you had that question early on, I think about
Alan. Yeah, way early on. I don't know if we can. Can you get back to it?
I don't know, because I think it was something about old tank syndrome. Was it that?
Something like that. Canistio suggesting if I switch back to gravel substrate, I'll have something to do every day. True word.
It's like back on the floor every day, right?
Really?
Funny. I mean, hey, if that's what you want to do, you vacuum away. You know.
Yeah, right.
You know, I feel like you said, it's a different type of or way of keeping your fish tank, and if that is how you like to do it,
right.
If you're successful with it, have at it. You know. Okay, here it is. David, all right. Fatherfish. People often talk about old tank syndrome, where the minerals in the water don't buffer and the pH in tank crashes. How does this work in a natural tank like you promote? Good question.
Yeah, old tank syndrome. That's really interesting. The real issue is old tank syndrome.
Good morning.
See. He's at 909. He's doubling down on this.
Okay, I missed that.
I have a background in marine ecology, and you're the first advocating for natural anoxic zones in tanks. Yeah, you ain't been around a while here.
And we're not laughing at you. We're just laughing in general. We're not laughing at you or your question. Great question.
Yeah, it's a great question, and the issue of anoxic has come up more than once, and I've had my say about it, so I won't go into that again right now. Old tank syndrome. I don't think in truth I've dealt with old tank syndrome once in my entire life. I don't think it's ever been an issue. And I'm not sure I even know what it is.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm not sure I know what it is. My feeling when I think about it is it's that way of keeping your fish where you never do the water change, but it's not deep
anything. Yeah.
It's
but
not the deep
I mean, I have friends who are breeders, professional breeders, who who keep tanks, small tanks, not big tanks, like 10s and 20s, in water that is ancient, 30, 40 years old. I mean, really ancient water. Never do water changes. Top off occasionally. And it just is not, I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. Um, I'm just trying to think now. I've heard I've heard discussions about water becoming so heavily mineralized
Right.
that it becomes a problem, and that certainly is the case with things like um, the Salt Lake, the Dead Sea. I mean, that's what those are. Those are heavily mineralized environments. Um, if that's what we're talking about,
Yeah.
it seems to me it would take years to get there. Um, as to the deep substrate, okay, I'm getting the I'm 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 working my way
You're
around this.
working your way into this answer. I see it coming. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, the impact of that on the deep substrate. That's the question, and that's a really good question. Um, my sense is that the deep substrate provides the potential for the mineralization to be chelated in the deep substrate adequately to reduce that mineralization or to keep it in check to a sufficient degree uh, uh, to not be problematic.
Yeah.
Uh, in so doing, what it's doing is converting uh, mineralization into nutritional components that plants can take up, primarily in the root system.
Yeah.
That's a very, very, very slow process, but one that does occur nonetheless. I mean, mountains move, albeit slowly. They do, in fact, move. Water moves through a deep substrate slowly, but it does, in fact, move. And over a period of time, over a period of 2, 3, 4, 5 years and more, there's an effect on the total system by virtue of that water movement. I use the word chelation. That probably is no more problematic than the word anoxic to describe conditions that exist in the substrate and processes that occur there. So I'll, I'll I will match your anoxic with one chelation, and then we
And
can be.
can I ask you this? Because this is what's going through my mind. Is I feel like you'd be more inclined to maybe fall into that situation with just a gravel substrate than you would with the deep, dirted, sand capped substrate. I feel like that would be more of an issue. And if you weren't topping off with, spring water, RO water, something that wasn't mineralized, that is how you get sort of,
Yeah,
more into that problem. I feel like the sand takes care of that more so than the gravel. Am I wrong in that way of thinking?
I think that's right. My sense is that the deep substrate at least provides an avenue or means for the excessive mineralization to be controlled, to be
Exactly.
deterred in some way. Uh,
That's how I got it. Yeah. So
the,
hopefully that makes sense.
yeah, if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I mean,
It doesn't. We feel good about it. We feel like it makes sense.
We're not trying to do science here. And,
Right.
it's important that you understand that Joey and I are very much on the same level there. Neither one of us presume to be scientific in any of our endeavors. This is
No.
all this is all hit or miss, learned by the seat of your pants.
Experience. I totally admit I just go
Exactly
from
right.
experience. I'm
Exactly
not
right.
reading it from I'm not reading it from a book. What I tell you comes from what I've experienced or figured out or whatever. That's the way I work. I think he works in a similar way. Um,
Yeah, I do too. I mean, that's really that's interesting because that may well really help to define what this stream is.
and Terry makes a little bit of a comment here. Terry's Tropical, and it is true. The fish that you keep in those tanks and you keep for a long period of time adjust. They get used to it. You add a new fish, won't make it. Won't survive that
Right,
type of
right,
a tank, a situation with an old
right.
tank like that. So you have to be careful. You know. Um,
It's we notice that most easily and most quickly, not in freshwater but in saltwater. It's really easy for saltwater tanks to get to the point where they're uh, overloaded with mineralization to the point that the old fish that are in there are fine and they're surviving and they're doing well. But it becomes difficult to introduce a new fish because the water parameters are so off from what they're
oh yeah.
currently that they can't handle the difference. I've seen that happen in saltwater tanks that are only a few years old. I've, I've not seen it happen in freshwater, but then I've not been doing gravel for a long, long time. And when
Right.
I did a lot of water changes. And water changes certainly preclude that from becoming a problem.
Hmm.
So one more good reason to do water changes if you have a bare bottom or gravel bed or like that,
Yeah, that's
something
good.
that's not in an effective way controlling the
Yeah.
mineralization thing. Really good question, David.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here. We're going to give you a wrench um, with respect to your question and your persistence and your
Yeah.
presence here among us. Nice
Yeah.
to have you here.
Thank you. Hey, I'm going to say hello to a couple more people. I see Jack and Dan have joined us this morning. Um, I think I also saw. Oh, there's a couple more people I think that came in, and I had them, and now I'm scrolling. And Fish and Wings is here. Tank Top Tropics is here this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Mr.
Um,
B
Mr.
CBD.
BCPs, yeah. And I think I said hi to Brianne, but Brianne, you asked that question earlier, and I didn't get to it. I mean, no, I don't keep anything other than microworms. I, at this point, don't need anything more than microworms. I take that back. I do have a vinegar worm culture that I never use. But for what I breed and what I do, microworms is enough for me, so I don't mess with any other worms. So, but good luck with yours. Hope it all works out. Good morning, Amber. Good morning, Big City Bettis. Hope you're well this morning, and thank you for donating yesterday for the big giveaway day. It was fun
Oh,
for
wasn't that fun?
the 8,000 sub celebration. Yeah, it was so fun. Thank you. Hello,
David,
Rohan.
all right. David's back with a follow up. Said others seem to advocate for constant water changes to avoid a loss of buffering minerals or pH. Just wondering if I do the same. No, I don't. Um,
Right.
and have not noticed an issue. The system does not seem to burn out the carbonates, the deep substrate system.
Oh, thank you, Amber. She says she's been in touch with the winner and is going to be shipping their betta on Monday. That's
Oh,
really
nice.
cool.
Good.
Did,
Okay.
did you
Yeah,
want
thank you.
to?
That was wonderful.
Did you
What?
want to leave it a surprise, Amber, or do you want to tell us what you're shipping, or would you rather wait and have it be a surprise?
Want to do it
Either way,
Monday?
Either way is fine. I just wanted to know. Fishy Mom 2381. Do I sell microrms? I really need to. I never truthfully have sold them. I've never sold a culture. I mean, I suppose I could. I've never done it.
Yeah, Terry's tropicals, just saying old tank syndrome can be a buildup of anything. The situation where the fish in the tank are fine while things build up and new fish won't tolerate it. Yeah, exactly. I get that. I understand that. And that can be real difficult for people who
I know.
perfectly healthy tank and new fish don't make it.
And they don't
And they
understand it.
they don't understand it, right? Yeah.
Right. But that's 100% it. And I feel that when that happens, usually you get the pH drop, and that's why when you put the new fish in, start spinning and they just die. You know?
Yeah, and it's old tank syndrome. I mean, I guess that's a kind of a catch-all.
Well, it covers a lot of things, but yeah.
Drop in pH is really what is the most common problem.
Right.
Because a tank can drop slowly to like 6.0, and the fish in there will be fine. They won't show any particular ill effects. You try to put a new fish in, and it'll go into a spiral and die in a matter of minutes.
Yep, absolutely. Good morning, Jeffrey Buster. Good morning. Glenn Walton, good morning. Oh, you're letting him pick his bed? That's so nice, Amber. That's cool. That'll be fun. We really appreciate you joining in. And my sister, I don't know if the person contacted her yet, but that'll be fun. It's all good. So, what do we got? Oh, Jack and Dan says they're going to be
from Big City Bettas.
What'd you say? Yeah, I just talked about it. That she was letting them pick the betta. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Jack and Dan says they're coming to Florida.
Yeah, and I invited them. They're going to be in Orlando on Sunday, so I invited them to join us Sunday evening.
Yeah.
I was going to try to get out there, but I can't do it. So that'll be next best thing. We'll get them up. We'll get them up on our stream for a while.
Yeah. Oh, Red Eye's thanking Amber. Red Eye won the betta. That's awesome. Cool.
So the theme for Sunday, Easter Sunday, will be: what are you doing? What do fish keepers do on Easter Sunday? And
Same thing I do, brain. Yeah, feed horses, feed fish. Not a whole lot of if you cook extra food. Everything still has to be fed, you know.
Frugal went collecting.
Yeah, he said he managed to get out of the car. So you got native minnows and shrimp, cool, and mud, leaves, and mulm. Wow, you got all the things.
Wonderful. Good job, Frugal.
Awesome.
Make sure we see what you're doing. Show us what you're doing.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Thank you.
Red Eye.
Listen. Yeah. Hunt for Easter eggs. Oh, that's a thing, James. Hunt for some Easter eggs. Yeah. I'm going to scroll back and see if I see anything that I might. I mean, I'm sure I missed something.
You're going to be sipping virgin pina coladas with FATHERFISH and Joey in Florida. Bravo.
Yeah.
We'll have to join him in that.
Well, it's never a bad thing, right? All right, what do we got? I'm just scrolling back to see if there was anything, so you keep up with the chat right there.
Yeah.
We'll see. So if anybody does have a question, now is a really good time to drop it in. And you know what? I don't know how we're doing on the likes, but smash the like button, people. I think it's time. I hope you're awake, Terry.
Haven't seen that. I tell you, we need help with the like button. We are 40 behind.
40.
40 behind.
Smash the like button, people. Wake up.
Mercy.
I hope nobody was trying to nap during the stream.
Well, it's
Just
up
a
there.
reminder.
Up in 10 seconds. Definitely get results. Jumping,
Well, they
jumping.
better. They don't want me coming after them with this hammer.
Somebody suggested before the chat started that you might be using the hammer for April Fool's pranksters.
Well, luckily we haven't had any yet. We don't want any pranksters today. We don't want them today. But I get serious. I mean, I can take down a wall. Give me a sledgehammer and a crowbar. It's effective.
Let's see. Frugal is saying if I make a sealed ecosphere, does it need a small plant in it? It needs something, a chlorophyll that yes, it does. Trying
Yes.
to work chlorophyll. Yeah,
Uh,
something that creates sugars out of waste material, out of ammonia, basically, and nitrates. Yes, you need some kind of a green living critter in there.
Thank you, David Piper, for hitting the like
Yes,
button. I
and
know
Pete
you
Campbell said in a nice remake of the Henry Hall video. It certainly was. He did a really, really good job. I loved the music. It was really quite nice.
I haven't had a
Thank
chance to watch it yet, so I will watch it. Rohan, you said you know why your fish are flashing. That's because the temperature dropped in my pond, and I'm suspecting ick.
Yeah, likely.
And
Yeah,
get on it, because if you don't,
yeah.
they'll start dying
They'll
on
start
you.
floating upside down.
It will happen overnight. I mean, they'll look fine, and the next thing you know, it's like they're not. So raise that temperature.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Andre Alvarado, Fatherfish, can you talk about endless and endlers, I think he means, endlers and diminishing habitats. Endlers are, for all intents and purposes, wild guppies that for a long time, the only wild guppies we saw were guppies that came out of feeder ponds on farms that were simply not hybridized, not hybridized fish. Guppies for so many years, 75 years or so, have been hybridized to the point where the original strains are totally lost. And what has come into the hobby over the past 10 or 15 years is a fish we refer to as endlers. Some say it's a different species. I happen to think it's not a different species, but is, if you will, a more ancient evocation of the same species of fish. They do crossbreed with fancy guppies. So, for all intents and purposes, they are not a separate species, but they're smaller, less finished, of course, and have a color pattern we just don't see in domesticated guppies anymore. I remember as a kid, you would see spots in guppies, the kinds of spots that exist on endlers. So when I see an endler, it takes me back to my childhood, to the guppies from the 40s and 50s that still had the spots on them. Not so much as the case anymore. And of course, as with so many things, the habitat for them. These are not a deep tropical fish. They're a semi-tropical fish from like Mexico, Colombia, more more semi-tropical areas. We do not find them in Florida or in Texas. Maybe Baja, I don't know. Um, but they're not in areas where it gets down much below 60. They just can't survive that. So they're further south, like the northern parts of South America. Do not know if they exist below the equator, in the semi-tropics below the equator. They may well, I just don't know. I don't know what's down there actually. It'd be interesting to find out. Um, there's been substantial interest in maintaining these. And now what's happened, of course, is that many different strains of Endlers are being developed with all kinds of colored patterns that, again, do not exist in the wild, but are nevertheless a kind of a more than vague memory of the native species. They've maintained the essential characteristics, I think, of the native species, keeping the small size, keeping the finnage down, keeping the mottled and spotted kinds of colors. They're beautiful little fish, demonstrating that the beauty in the wild is every bit a match for what we can create in our efforts to highlight certain characteristics of animals. Is that enough talking about there?
Right. And yeah, that was a lot. I think it was
Oh,
good.
more than I thought
So
was in there. Right.
yeah. So Amber is asking, Big City that is asking, my favorite angel pair is now spawning every other week. Wonder how long this pattern will hold. Then pulling the fry when they start free swimming because the male can snack on them at that age. But she wants to know if anybody has any insight. She says she's not super well versed in angel pair breeding. So she wants to know how long they'll continue that 2 week cycle and spawn.
Yeah, 2 to 3 months. Generally,
Yeah.
it's through breeding season. Usually, they'll stop after 4 to 5 spawns, um, which is 10 weeks, 2 months,
And,
2 to 3.
depends on how many babies you want. If when you've got enough,
So
just
really,
let it ride.
really,
They'll do their thing. It'll take care of itself. And Tam, same thing with you. I mean, it depends on how many angelfish babies you want. You said you've already got a ton. I mean, if you want a second tank of them, sure. But there's a
yeah,
limit sometimes of what makes sense. If you don't have a place to sell them, be careful. Because you're going to end up with a couple hundred angelfish. So just be careful. You've got a way to deal with it.
you can load up your tanks, and that's part of what's happened with this COVID thing. A lot of people who enjoy breeding fish have wound up with tanks full of fish that they
Right.
need to
Right.
be moving on, and
Yeah.
haven't had the club auctions to be
Right.
able to do that.
I mean, Amber's in the fish business. She's got it covered. But if you don't have a way, consider that. You might not want to keep the next batch of fry. It's just a thought.
Right.
Um, oh, and I see Colored Guppies is here. Good morning. Andre Scott, good morning. I'll look back at your question in a minute. R&B Animals and Collectibles, good morning.
Andre Scott is saying, do you have to do more water changes in a 10-gallon tank than a big tank? And do the pH go up or down more in a 10? Well, it certainly can. Smaller amount of water, it certainly can. Um, in a smaller tank, you want to kind of keep an eye on things to make sure
Yeah.
you're not having that happen. Obviously, in a larger volume of water, it's going to be less frequent, depending on the fish you got. If you got a lot of big fish in a big tank, it'll be the same issue, though.
Exactly. It depends on what you're keeping and how often you're feeding, and there's so many variables. But I wouldn't say just because it's a 10-gallon or 55 that absolutely you have to do more changes in the 10-gallon. It just depends on the substrate and what you're doing, right? I mean, wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And
how
I
I
wanted
feel
to
about
make a
it.
comment. I want to grab Jack and Dan here a second. And then I wanted to
Yeah.
make a comment about this whole overfeeding thing. Sunday will be at 6 o'clock, 6 to
Hmm.
7, Jack and Dan.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you for
somebody,
posting.
somebody sent me a question on a video last night
Hmm.
in which um, they're having sudden problems in their tanks. And I looked at
Okay.
that and I listened to it and I tried to understand it. What I came away with was the belief that they're probably overfeeding. And I
Hmm.
had a way of explaining, it suddenly came to me, a way of explaining overfeeding. Generally speaking, um, when someone sees their fish eating all of the food, they feel, oh, fine, I'm not overfeeding because they're eating all of it. But here's the thing, a small fish, most any fish, but particularly the fish that we keep in our tanks, when they eat, they have a short intestinal tract. And it takes about 2 hours for that food to work its way all the way through their body and come out the other end. 2 hours. Humans take about 24 hours. Fish take about 2 hours. Now, one of the things that means is that by the time the fish has vacated that food from its body, it has only been nutritionally used about 10% of its actual food value. So that was a complicated way of saying the fish only uses about 10% of the food value of what it eats when it eats it. So when it poops it out, 90% of the food value is still there. So then what do you have? Think about this. What you have is 90% of what you put in there is now laying on the bottom as a rotten mess.
Hmm.
Think about that. Partially digested poop. 90% of what you put in there has now been converted to heavily bacteria laden material laying on the bottom of your tank. Now, some of that will be re eaten, not instantly, but it will be re eaten. But the same thing happens again and again and again and again. So, whenever you feed your fish, you are polluting your tank. Think about that. Particularly if you're feeding them uh, flake food, pellet food, anything that's not alive, you're you're polluting your tank with food, and that's typically what happens. People feel like the most important thing they can do for their fish is feed them, which means the one thing they're doing most consistently is polluting their tank, fouling their tank, fouling the water. So when I talk about not feeding, I'm not talking about letting the fish go hungry because the fish will find food. If you've got a halfway decent balanced tank with plants living in it and a substrate that allows things to live in it, it will provide food for the fish naturally, particularly if you have small fish. Not so much with big fish, but certainly it's true with small fish. You do not need to put additional nutrition in that tank if you have a tank that is already creating a nutritional environment. Try to wrap your head around that because that's really the foundation of maintaining a balanced tank.
All right. Can you give Grommel? I gotta find the
Where,
times there.
Rommel.
It was Grommel, I think, 76 at 9:38. Could you give them a wrench, please, and good morning? And then there's a few other people that have come in. Arachnophile Girl, welcome. Sarge's Aquatics is
Rule
here.
76.
And Donkey Love is here. And I think Coffee came in. Hello. And good morning to everyone. And I'm Ray Scott. I think I said hello. But David Fellows, smash the like button. And hello.
Rommel is now blue.
Okay, cool. All right.
It's a little better. 86 watching, 69 thumbs up. We're still 17 short, 15 short. It's moving.
It's just
That
a
is
little call.
little motivation there. Motivational devices. They're wonderful, aren't they?
That's right. That's right.
The other motivational device. This has more to do with that Sandier test.
Yes. Mine is, the hammer time is for the like button.
Hammer time.
That's the Sandbell. That's right.
16 short. 16 short.
Well, I mean, I suppose some of those people may have already left. We'll give it that. We'll give it that.
Mr. B saying, whatever color food you feed your fish, the poop is the same color. What's that tell you?
And, that's the thing. Yeah.
Really? That's right. That's right.
That is true. That is
Oh,
true. You are
Rohan. Rohan saying probably 100 insects fall into my outdoor ponds in a day, and my Danios snap them up. An outdoor pond, absolutely, unless you've got big koi in it or other big fish, never needs to be fed. If you got little fish in your outdoor pond, that pond is feeding your fish.
Yeah.
Think about a pond anywhere. Where did the fish get the food? Nobody goes by and throws food in them. Where do they get it?
Amber has a great statement, Fatherfish, and I'm going to say hello to my sister Dawn, Tashita Heaven, and Why Not in Wyoming.
I know.
When I was breeding licorice gouramis, the fry didn't get fed for the first 3 months. I just loaded up their tanks with decomposing wood and leaves, and Fissoria is a magical fry food. Oh,
You bet.
he's going to like you, Amber. Oh, fishtuber.com. Can we give fishtuber.com a
Right
wrench?
there.
They were in here yesterday. Thank you and hello. Good morning.
Salute. Fish tuber is now blue. Now got the like button on 4 different accounts.
Yay! Thank you.
All right.
Love that. Love it.
Stephanie says she scared us. That's what she did. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
Scared. Scared of her.
But it's working.
Licorice gouramis. Oh, I love licorice gouramis. And they are tiny. That's a teeny tiny baby fish. So it doesn't take much for them to fill their gut. One little paramecium will do for a few hours.
Well, I wish that worked on me.
Well,
Just have one little bite. Yeah, I'll just have a bite. Yeah.
right.
Anyway, okay. Fatherfish, can you talk about planaria? And that's from Andre. Andre, all right. Can you talk about planaria?
I was watching Alex.
Maybe.
Alex did a video the other day on his planaria eating, I think, baby angels. I didn't watch it. I just noted the video on it. You might go over to Alex. It's the secret history hidden in your aquarium. Got a video on planaria. Couple of them, I think, actually.
Well, he always says that's the caveat, Donkey Love, is, the larger fish, obviously, you do have to feed.
Right.
We get that,
Gene Campbell, do you think it's worth investing in digital meters versus using liquid test kits or strips? Um, well, the liquid test kits are fine. The meters are quicker. You spend the money on them. They have to be calibrated routinely. They don't hold up real well. I mean, they're a relatively sophisticated piece of equipment, but they don't involve a high design factor, so they tend to break down easily. And the test strips, if they sit around in a drawer very long, they will tend to not age well. If moisture can get to them, which is difficult to prevent, then they're not going to be real effective. So, yeah, the best is the liquid. It takes a little time to use it, though. Some of those um, chemicals take a few minutes to react. The reagents take a little bit of time to react to the water.
Um,
I've used meters. I like them. But when I go back to them, they don't work half the time. So I wind up using the liquid. I've got somewhere where it's. I'll show you my box. So there.
Welcome, John Shua. Hello and welcome.
There's my collection of liquid um, chemical test bottles.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to test for nitrates, I go through. There's one nitrite. This is one of two. So I need to find the other one then, where I can do that. High range pH, calcium, nitrate, ammonia, and so forth.
Good morning, what fishy do? Good morning.
Obviously, I don't do it often. If I did, they'd be better organized.
Grandma76 says, I'm a new fish keeper, 3 months, and I've already set up 2 outdoor tanks and pots and 2 indoor tanks, all using Father Fish method. They're all doing great. I want to thank Father Fish for the tutelage.
You are on your way.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Very nice.
Good for you.
And Sandy says he feeds fish in lakes, worms, and plastic lures. They don't get a lot of food value out of it, but you do, I'm sure.
Brandon Spicer, hello and welcome. He says, I test at the store now. My tests go bad before I can use them. Well, I know I don't trust the strips personally. I know that. I'm with Father Fish on the test with the drops. I don't like the strips. I don't even like the strips for a swimming pool. I just think I don't like them.
Where Dunlap, is it okay to glue googly eyes on a militant snail as a form of humiliation? If yes, what type of glue? Asking for a friend. Yeah, here's the problem with that. The snail's eyes can only see what's in front of them. They really can't see what's on top of their shell. So all you're going to be doing is intimidating the other snails. Now that might keep procreation down.
That'd be okay.
Yeah, that would be okay.
Intimidation is a good thing.
What type of glue? Yeah, it's super glue. Works perfectly. That's cute for a friend. Tell your friend he's bizarre.
But send us a picture. Because you're always interested in projects,
Yeah, particularly
And I
bizarre
think
one.
he wanted to know how, did he say paramecium taste? Well, I don't know personally, James, because I don't raise it, but if you're drinking it, I hope you're enjoying it. I have not tried the chocolate macaworms. I'm just not inclined, though they look delicious.
Barbecue tastes a lot like chocolate microwave. I'm
Sure
here
they
to.
do. Oh, Andres, you are right. What happened to the Bedazzle the Snail competition? Well, we'll have to get that. We'll have to set that up and get something going. Um,
Right.
we'll save that for a little bit. Um,
Like our test kit.
let's get through the name thing. We'll do that thing, and then maybe we'll go on to the Bedazzle your snail thing. Good morning, Oaks. How are you?
That,
Greg, good morning. Word Dunlap, good morning. Must be on the kept on the DL. Well, you are probably right, Word Dunlap, because everybody will think we've lost our minds. Which I mean, I have.
Oaks for golf.
Yeah. And is that
There you
essentially
go. Yeah.
you've got 5 accounts, Dutch. Oh. Well, hey, if you're giving us the likes, awesome. Love it. Love it. Steffi wants to start talking about biscuits. Yes, go with the chocolate microwave. I'm really not kidding, though. I looked at that like, man, you put that on a biscuit. I should have done it.
Now, Stephanie.
R&B, you can't stay too much longer. Okay. Yeah, I get it. You got chores. Yep. I get that.
Right.
I get the chore thing.
Yours is yours, right?
Oh, yeah. A friend compared digital. Oak says a friend compared digital meters to lab pH meter. Nothing less than $150 meters gave accurate readings. Yeah, you need an expensive one. Test strips were just as good as the less than $50. Okay. I mean, I just do the drops. I just like drops. But hey, whatever works for everybody, you know?
Right.
But truthfully, I don't test, so let's not get into that. Okay. Jeffrey Foster says, I have something going on in my tank.
So
It
it's
looks
not
like Endler's temperature. Yes, it's not it.
if it
Probably.
were at high temperature, would kill it. Make sure
Right.
that high temperature is in fact high
Yeah.
temperature. 85 is not high enough. Has to
Yeah.
be 86. If your thermometer is off by a degree and you're not actually at night at 86, it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going back because I know there was a question. Okay. It was Glenn Walton. And hello, Glenn. Good morning and welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Manifesto, I like the TDS meters too. I use those and I like them. And that's something you can't get an accurate reading with chemicals. So the TDS meter, I think, is
Meter.
preferable. And they're you can get them pretty cheap, like $25.
So Father says Glenn Walton is having a problem. He says, what could be the cause of white stringy poo and bloating, one with clamped fins?
Yeah, probably internal parasites. Try feeding some crushed garlic, crushed fresh garlic. If that doesn't do it, you're going to wind up needing to feed them a medicated food.
Yeah, yeah, and do a little bit of a water.
Well, what I would suggest is if the garlic doesn't work, go on over to Discord, get a hold of Steven. He'll have some protocols for you that will help.
That will help. Yeah, yeah, but that's where I would go. Definitely internal parasites. Yep, that's where I would be with that. Okay. Well, I agree with you, Florida Fish Rescue. That's why I just look at my tanks that I've been doing it a long time. I know what I need to do, but especially for certainly a newer person in the hobby, testing is good. They need to get a feel for it. Yeah, I'm with you, Amber. I just don't test anything. But like I said, I'm not saying for somebody that's new in the hobby and trying to get started and trying to figure things out that doing your test isn't. It's not a bad idea. That's for sure. Why not do some things? Oh, yep,
Camelina's worms.
yeah.
Camelina's worms. Yes.
Who said that? I said, oh, okay, Anders. Yeah. Have you had any of that, Father Fish?
Um, mm, I don't really think so. Here, I'll give you a picture. So you're what
Okay.
we're looking at.
Good morning, Fish Home Tank Dicks. Good morning. Well, they just look spectacular. Yeah.
Here we go.
That's where I believe that's where I would treat with levamisole.
Yeah, you want a medicated food.
Yeah. And that is not a fish and aquarium medication. It's a wormer for swine basically.
For pigs, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to go and you need to go on Google and get the ratios for
And
how.
you need to dose carefully.
Yes.
If
And it
you
does.
overdose with that stuff, you can kill your fish.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. But it is effective. It works. But you need to know, as Father Fish said, how to dose. And it's not something that dissolves in the water easily. So, but there's all kinds of things online on the dosage for it. But levamisole.
I had a friend who used it in a saltwater tank and wiped out the tank. With it.
Oh no, I've used it plenty of times on new fish and whatever I felt I needed to treat for, and I've never lost a fish from using it. But I'm not going to recommend dosages because I do what I want to do. That's why I'm saying research it online
Yeah,
and go with what most people use.
yeah,
Well, that's it, Amber, and that's what I say. I don't fight my water. I don't test for anything. I'm lucky to have well water. I use it. I keep the fish that do well in my water. Donkey love Camelina's worm. Rest in peace.
yeah. Big City Bettis has one kind of comment here that's really critical. Said don't add chemicals to change your water parameters.
Yeah, she's right.
If the problem is you can do that, you're going to get away with it the first time and the second time and the third time and the fourth time. By the fifth time, you'll get a little sloppy and it won't be the same. And you wind up with a range. You're really not doing anything other than throwing it from one end of the spectrum to the other. Whereas the water coming to you, your water supply, whatever that is likely to be absolutely consistent. And it's more important for your fish to be able to live in your water. So you want to get them adapted to whatever your water parameters are. That way, you're not going to be changing the water parameters with water changes, and you can maintain them with water changes.
Good morning, one wanderer. Um, right, and I mean, I said, I figured it out years ago because I would, put my water in a bucket and change the pH, and then I would heat it and whatever, and the next day it would be right back to where it was before. And I was just like, I'm not going to fight my water, and I
Yeah.
don't. And
Right.
it is what it is. So, so that's why I don't keep tetras. So, okay, not willing to do the work to keep them.
Andre wants to know what the eels are in the tank behind me,
Oh, yeah,
and they're not eels.
right.
That is a Florida native. It's a siren, the salamander. He's about almost 2 foot long. I've got four of them in there. They're keeping the tank stirred up. Haven't been able to get out and get gravel yet. Need to put some gravel on the top of it. I'm looking for little river rocks to capture that material so that they won't stir it up. These guys are air breathers. I mean, they're actually a salamander, not an eel. You can see an external gill on them, and two front feet, no back feet. They were captured locally last summer.
Good morning, Swampy Acres. Good morning. Welcome.
And where Double Lap is suggesting sheep wormer, kind of the same difference. Can you see the pygmy sunfish? Maybe. I don't think I can get my camera.
Okay, yeah, they were asking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, Andrew, those are good ideas, and they do work, and I do some of those. But for me, I just don't keep fish that need that lower pH. But that is the way to do it. You are right.
Let's see if we can get one to come. Those are the little
Oh,
tiny
wow.
ones. There's the Formosa.
Word Dunlap, that's awesome. Been using organic garlic paste in a tube. Nice. Already crushed up for you. Cool.
One here. Let's try to get him to come down.
That's cool. I'm
Got one up
trying
the
to
other
see
end.
it. I see your snail. I see the snail.
Getting them to come to a specific place. It's like herding cats.
Well, yeah.
They just want to cooperate.
But they're not going to go where you want them to go,
Yeah. I will have to wait and try to catch one.
Yeah.
They're not
Good morning,
down.
Roz. I don't even know if I said good morning to you. Good morning. I don't think I said hello to my sister Dawn. Tashita Heaven. Good morning, Dawn.
Did a while back, I remember.
Okay, because I'm like all of my sisters are in there. I'm like, did I say hi
Right.
to all of them?
I had a chance to talk to Dawn yesterday.
You did.
Yeah, I called her up to thank her for the gift.
Oh, very nice.
And we had a lovely conversation.
Well, she knows a lot about rocks and crystals. I can tell you that.
Really.
A lot. Yeah.
Soaked fish food and garlic juice. James Handy. Yep, absolutely.
Did you see that where Dunlap says? I mentioned it while you were looking at the fish, but where Dunlap said they're using, I think it was organic garlic paste. I was
Garlic
like,
paste.
oh,
Yeah. Heard you say that. Yeah.
So that's cool. That way you don't have to sit there crushing it, trying to figure out how to crush it up. It's all done
Yeah.
for you.
Florida Fish
And it
Rescue.
won't have any chemical.
Mike went out with us the other day to catch those pygmy sunfish. We'll get a look at them. They're really pretty, but they're tiny.
What's their max size of the pygmy sunfish?
The what?
The maximum, the adult size.
Under an inch. Maybe
They are
3/4 of an inch.
okay.
No bigger than. They don't get an inch long.
Okay, so not. I thought maybe they've got at least an inch long. Okay, so
No, they don't.
Truly a small. Hello, Marty, 80. Good morning. Or hello. Not sure. I. Sean, I chew garlic and spit it in my tank. That's hilarious.
Does that make it partially digested? I don't know.
Just funny. Just funny. That's
Amazing.
funny. Sorry, don't you?
Oh,
Funny. Funny. You guys are funny. All right.
great guppy guy. Let me ride that donkey.
Sorry, Donkey Love.
Really. All right.
Oh, Steph's asking, I wonder if you buy crushed garlic in a jar, it has preservatives in it. Would that be bad for the fish? Garlic, that is. Yeah. I don't think, I'm not sure if all the crushed has a lot of preservatives. Isn't some of it preserved with like some
I don't know if it is or not.
vinegar and stuff? I think what I would be more worried about would be if it had oil in with it.
Right.
That would be more, I think, the
Yeah,
worst.
that'd be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, if you could just get straight minced garlic and it didn't have anything in it, I don't see why that wouldn't work for the larger species. You know, you'd have to still crush it for the small ones. Lori wants to know, Monster Fish Guy wants to know if you have any plants available. You got some plants to sell yet, Father
Oh, I
Fish?
do. I do. Yeah, let me
Okay.
give you a little,
What do
get a
you got?
little tour of the plants. This one has, this is the angel tank. I've got a lot of Ludwigia in here.
Okay.
I'm getting a, a bag full of pygmy lilies tomorrow. So I'm going to have pygmy. A couple of people asked for them. I
Yeah,
will
that
have,
sounds cool.
like, let's see what else.
Huh.
Quick review of some of the. I've got a. I can't read this stuff. That's a Picostemon stellatus.
Okay.
And then this one here is a golden Nasea, Nasea. Really pretty little plant. And then I've got
Okay.
things like corkscrew valve. I've got the dwarf sword, pygmy sword. These back here, there's some
Yeah.
water wisteria, water sprite back there.
Okay. So if she wanted,
I've
she
got,
could buy one of the plant packs. Is
yeah,
that how you
I've got about 10 different species of plants that are
Okay.
currently available.
Good morning, Kenny. Good morning, Danton.
Very good.
David Fellows. No. Oh, they were saying that today. Somebody was saying, where did I see it? Something about cucumber helping push parasites through. I lost
Oh,
you
that's
said.
interesting. Frugal is putting
Said it, but,
food processing garlic. That's a good idea.
yeah, that is a good idea.
Why not Wyoming? Is nervous about chemical treatments with aquaponics. I agree absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, look, she's told Swampy she's looking for background plants. So it would be like, the val and stuff would be good for that. And
I've got a little bit of tall val, and I've some of this. Let me show you. Some of this Ludwigia you see in the back is getting pretty big. I think that may be mermaid. I think that's mermaid. You do have a few mermaid. That tall one. There's another one in the forefront.
Well,
Also, the red the Lud is going to get big.
okay.
They don't stay short.
All right. Rohan, Father Fish, won't the forever 10-gallon tank you spoke about yesterday get filled up in a decade with sand if I keep capping the mulm?
Yeah. Well, you'll reach a level where it'll begin to work. It'll begin sifting through. Um, Usually it's about 3 inches. In big tanks, I've had it go to 4 or 5, but it'll reach a point where you won't get mulm anymore, where the mulm will get down in there. It's a matter of the system being able to process it. So if it's you just have to get ahead of the processing with the sand bed, but it really doesn't take all that much. I've had the same notion. I had one tank, a 20 long, that had 6 inches of substrate in it, which means it had about 4 inches of water. It actually was an extremely healthy tank that I could grow plants and fish in it. Never had a problem with it, but I was a little weird. Blue stricta. Don't know what a blue stricta is.
So, yeah, blue stricta. I was going to ask you that. And how we doing on our likes, Father Fish?
Well, pretty good. 77 watching, 88 thumbs up.
Oh, so I guess we're doing really well. So, okay, we don't need the hammer. All right, you guys are awesome this morning.
We got ahead of it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Let me look at blue stricta here.
Florida Fish Rescue asks, doesn't garlic eventually cause anemia in fish? Where's Stephen the biologist if you need him?
Blue stricta is a high grow.
Um, Congratulatory hammer. Okay, you guys want the hammer? Hammer time? All right, let's go.
Hammer.
Hammer time.
There's a blue high grow.
I'm just going back to Florida Fish Rescue. I mean, I don't feed it enough to feel that it would cause anemia. I would feel like you'd have to be feeding it all the time. I think if you did it as a parasite treatment for a few days, that's a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And then some people like to feed it once a week. But if you're feeding it that way, I don't think it would cause anemia. If for some reason you thought you were just going to feed your fish garlic, yeah, there'll be a problem,
Right. Happy birthday to Fish's sister.
Happy birthday to who? I'm sorry.
Fishy on sister. Oh, Fishy on. You didn't come up today.
Yeah. You were gonna show us
Whatever. Right. They tried to come
yeah,
up
you were gonna show us whatever you wanted to show us. Yeah. Good morning, Kevin. I've seen you for a few days, Kevin Long. Leon, how you doing?
Rosalind. Hello, Rosalind.
Yeah. She's
Stephanie.
and she and Steffi were going on the biscuits.
Marty 80.
For a long time. Yeah. So anyway, John Sua. He's in here before saying hello to Kevin. I feel bad. Can you give John a wrench? He's not blue.
Where is John? Yes, John. John Sua, you bet.
Yeah.
John is wrench.
That's pretty much what I do, James, too. If I feel like there's an issue, I would use it that way. I know some people
Have I read the salamanders? No, Andre. Andres is really hung up on these salamanders. He's asked 3 or 4 questions about them.
So he likes salamanders.
Yeah, I do too, actually. That's why I got I do not know if they regenerate. Um, let's see. I'm trying to remember. I did have one that I think regenerated a front foot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I had one that regenerated a gill. So yeah, maybe they do.
Yeah.
Big city betta garlic is part of the alum family. It's a lily which contains compounds that are not good for certain mammals. It's been found not been found to cause any issues in fish
Yeah.
as long as it's a digestible form.
And I like where Dunlap. Garlic can cause social distancing in humans. Absolutely. Yeah, you run into your friend. Whoo, did you have a garlic bagel this morning?
If I've read the salamanders, no, I've not.
Uh, oh, that's nice, Kevin. You've got your new
A new
guide dog.
dog.
Awesome. Nice. Very nice. I'm glad that's working out for you, and that's really cool. Good for you. Good for you. Keeps vampires away too. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome for that. Uh, I gotta tell you, I tried garlic because I wanted to try it. And I tried some tanks, and my my daughter walked in the house and she's like, "What is that smell?" It's like, "Oh, I'm feeding garlic to the fish." She's like, "You need to stop." It's like the whole house stinks. And I was like, "Yeah, when you're in here and you're feeding it, it just doesn't seem that bad." But you
Right.
walk in from the fresh air and it's like, "Whoa, gross."
Oh, nice.
Or we opened some windows, needless to say.
Kevin's been training Fender's
Yeah,
new guide dog.
yeah.
Wonder.
Been training with this guy. Yeah, that's awesome. There's no Italian vampires. That's awesome. Yeah, my brother likes garlic. So
New
you just
without
keep him at a distance, right? Since you can smell when they come into the room, right? Uh, so Fish and Tank said, "Do you like what FATHERFISH sent you?" I don't even know what you sent him. Did you send him a mug?
mug, I think. Yeah.
Stickers and stuff? Okay, good. You got Tam out her new mug? Did you ship out her new mug?
I
So she can
did.
stop drinking coffee with
Yeah.
us?
Yeah. Sent her a new mug and
Yes, Kevin. I love
other.
that. Is that why we aren't that close? Yeah, I would say it's the garlic, for sure.
Jimmy, I need to take a break. I'll be back in about 1 minute.
Okay. I'll just
Hang
keep
it.
laughing about just keep the garlic jokes coming, people. I like it.
Right.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah, we need somebody that was eating a lot of garlic, and I have to say, it was that thing you could smell her from across the room. I feel like her pores. She was just excreting garlic, and it's like, whew, yeah, nice to see you. Anyway, and yeah, Amber likes to feed her bettas garlic pellets soaked in garlic juice. Yeah, have the tank smell like her. Get some tweezers and smell that poop, right? Let me know the level of garlic. Now if we think about the fact that they digest their food approximately 2 hours of poop, I bet their poop does smell like garlic. Oh my goodness, the gift that keeps on giving, right? Sorry, I'm not being serious. The fish box. Welcome, Emma. How are you? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope you're doing well. No vampires in this house. So, Ren, you big garlic lover. it tastes great in things. I admit it, but man, it does stay with you. I feel like Doritos are that way. Doritos are so great that you eat those and you have got dragon breath. I mean, it's horrible. Those chips will kill you. You're not making any friends eating those chips. Oh, you eat roasted garlic snacks sometimes. Oh, Amber. Well, how's the garlic breath going for you? uh, all the ways to eat garlic. Bye, Swampy. Bye, Tom. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Uh, Kenny? How you doing, Kenny? You're up. Well, not super early, but you're up. You're up. Well, so is Kevin. All you people on the West Coast, thanks for coming in because I know it's
Right,
early,
right.
and I know for a lot of people in other areas like Australia, it's super late. So thanks for staying with us and joining us and hanging with us. Awesome. Yes, I mean everybody. Yeah, the garlic is great for you. You're awake. Is that all? That's all we got? Is you're awake? Do you wake up, Kenny? Wake up.
I'll wake you up.
Yep. Wake up in the morning, boy. All right, you're not awake. Just all right, Bogey. I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. Okay. All right. We're still on garlic. Garlic is so good for you, and the taste. OMG, I didn't need them squares around anyway. I don't know. Morning, fishy. My fellow fish nerds. Garlic is so good for you. The taste. I don't know. Anyway. I do. I mean, I love it in food. I like it in stir fries. I love it everywhere. But I don't like the fact that it stays with you after. I don't. I don't. Yeah, Steph missed last night, Kenny. For some reason, yeah, she thought it was at 8 o'clock, not at 7. Good morning, Just Tank. Hello.
Fishing is here. Here we go.
All right. Hello, fishing.
Well, I say good evening, but some of you might be good evening. Good morning, Father Fish and Joey.
Hello,
Good morning.
fishing. Nice to. We're not seeing you, but we are hearing you.
We're talking to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not presentable.
That's quite all right.
All right.
But I did want to say that I received your box and that I made a boo-boo because when I saw perishable, I just was thinking about a mug being, fragile. And I waited a couple of days before I opened it.
Oh dear.
And lo and behold, what do I find? I find some an extra gift of plants, and I put those immediately into my tanks.
They should be fine.
Very nice. Yeah,
they are. They're fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are.
A week and more. Yeah.
Well,
good.
You're such a huge supporter of the channel. You needed a little extra gift. So.
Well, I definitely appreciate that.
Well, we very much appreciate you.
Yeah. You're here all the time and you support, you super chat so much. It just felt, it was nice to do a little extra. So I'm glad you opened it up, though.
Yeah.
You got to it, right?
Yeah.
So,
Another week just worked out. Well, thank you very much, Fishkin.
How do you pronounce it? Did you say we all pronounce it wrong? It's fishing.
It's like fission. Yeah, fission, like vision, your vision, but
like
fish.
fission.
Okay.
Fission. Okay. Awesome.
Not fishy on, huh?
Not fishy on or fish on. Fission. Fission.
Fission.
It's still fun to listen to. It's still fun to listen to because everyone has.
It ain't like it's a real name.
And is it Tanktix?
It is.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I will try to pronounce it correctly, but no guarantee. Because I've been doing it
It's okay.
wrong so long.
Yeah.
But
No, I
we
mean
really
it's okay.
appreciate you. We appreciate you,
No,
and we're glad that you came up to say hi.
yeah. Well, thank you. One of these days I'll show you, I guess, the tanks. But right now I got to get back to my son. He's home for spring
Okay.
break. So
Alrighty.
but
Understandable.
yeah. Geez, there was something I was gonna say, but I can't remember now.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
everyone, have a wonderful day. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you. You too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a great day.
You too.
I'll
Appreciate
see you
it.
back in the chat. Bye.
Bye bye.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm glad you didn't wait too long to open it. But it worked out. That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
That
So
could have been a
fission,
problem.
so fission tanks. Awesome.
Fission tactics.
Fission
Yeah.
tanks.
Have you
That's fun.
seen the giant Japanese cell? Andres is still hung up on the salamanders here. It's not one. No, I've seen the giant Japanese, and yes, I have, and yes, they are utterly magnificent. And thank you, Red LaRue. Skulls
True.
and
Thank you for
antlers,
the
skulls and antlers in the aquarium. How would it affect the water? Not at all. It's
yeah.
calcium. It would not affect it at all.
I
Would
actually
not be a
found
problem.
I found a skull. My daughter found a skull in the woods the other day. We were doing the bonfire, cleaning up, and I put it in the garage. And I'm thinking about putting it in a tank. It looks
Yeah,
pretty
it'll be
cool.
fine.
So
Yeah,
go for it, Lynn. I would.
right,
That'll be really neat. You know,
right,
do do it. Just do it. You'll love it.
right.
Love it. Oh, maple, garlic, and bacon are. Oh, that sounds good on chicken. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, cool. All right. So, are there any other questions? I want to make sure we didn't miss something important. And thank you again, Ren, for the super chat. Thank you.
giant Japanese
Do you see
salamander.
anything, Fatherfish? Yeah, the yard work. But we we had a bonfire, and we never started it last year, so it was a pretty big dry pile. It was kind of crazy for a few minutes. I got a nice burn. That's what's on my hand. We were messing around up close because it was kind of getting burned in the grass. So we were tamping it out, and something flew up and went down in my glove. I got a real good burn on my hand that day. It was third degree for sure.
Kevin
But I
Long
didn't have time to think about it.
for the super sticker, Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Very sweet. Thank you.
Giant salamanders.
So does he want some of those sirens? He seems to love them. Oh, you pooped on our stream, Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. There's a salamander.
Oh, wow. Cool. Maple glazed chicken. Love it.
Yes, I will sell the salamanders.
Ooh, does he want
They're all for sale. They're $100 a piece, and they do ship.
them? So there you go. You know how to get a hold of Father Fish. All the same info, same telephone number, same everything. You know. Oh yeah, I'm missing what Ren's saying about the crystals, but yeah, I have tons of crystals and rocks, and I use all sorts of things in my tanks, and I have not had any problems. Not
There's
at
Kevin
all.
Long, the
Yeah,
$2.
come
You
again.
go.
Thanks, Kevin. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. I'm gonna hit the hammer. Thank you, Kevin, and everyone, friend, for the super chats. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. And then you had, did you forget you had somebody join Snook earlier, right off in the stream? So thank you for that. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry. Someone joined your membership first thing this morning. They were Snook, I
I
believe.
did. I got them too.
So I can't
Yeah.
remember their name, and I'm just like, oh, but thank you for joining.
It was Fish Room spelled backwards.
That's right. I call him HSIF more, which
Yes,
isn't
right.
that's how I do it. Mike D, hello. Yes, you're late. Hit the like button. But welcome. Yeah, hi and bye. Sorry. Hit the like button. So anyway, yeah, I do a lot of that run, and go to my sister's site. You can see a whole bunch of stuff over there at sheetaheaven.com. There's all kinds of things. But I use, man, I've got jade in my tanks. I've got dendritic agate, tons of fluorite, rose quartz, amethyst, and way more. That's just what's coming to mind. Shungite. I got all kinds of stuff in my tanks. And like I said, I haven't had any problems. So skulls and rocks.
Wyoming wants to know if I deal in freshwater clams. I do. I don't have any right now, but I will this summer.
Cool. Cool. So, all right. We probably should say goodbye. You think, Fatherfish?
Yeah, I think we're at the we're over our limit here.
Oh, and Relic Turtle. Hello. Welcome.
Relic turtle.
Sorry.
Well, hello. Nice.
Goodbye.
Hello and goodbye. Right. You're right on time. Just got here in time for the goodbyes. See if we can get our theme song up here. Our closing theme song, which courtesy of Naresh.
Naresh. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you can come in earlier someday, Relic, and hang out with us. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Vision tactics.
Goodbye, all. Delighted to have you